Hi and welcome. I'm Marla. We're here for yoga for hips and low back. So I'm sitting in a chair, but feel free to sit on a mat, on the ground, or you can even take some of the poses in standing if you'd like. I just thought it would be easier to demonstrate the poses sitting in a seat today. So go ahead and find whatever seat works for you. Wherever you are, make sure that you're making a nice deep connection to the earth and whatever's beneath you. Take time to ground down, settling down energy, quieting down our breathing, quieting down our mind and any thoughts that are racing or any fluctuations that are going on right away for us. See if we can just pull inward, connecting to a quiet, soft, rhythmic breath, very nourishing and supportive right away. So we're going to clear out whatever surface energy we don't need, whatever's going on internally. Let's take a little check-in with that. So we notice if there's any high energy around our gut, how our heart feels, how our spine feels, how our lungs feel, how we feel internally. And let's take 3 more deep breaths in this little initial assessment of our body today. So this initial time helps us to really focus the time that we have together in the best way possible so that we can use our yoga to help us to feel better, to help us balance energies and dualities, and to quiet down any hectic energy in the spine, in the low back, in the hips, in our structure. So one more deeper, fuller breath in. Deeper, fuller breath out. And let's take the hands to the heart. Just take a moment to send out whatever we already received. Light, love, harmony, peace. Full breath in. Deep breath out. And let's sweep our arms down, around, and all the way up, or whatever you have today. And exhale, just reversing the pattern. So we're doing low back and hips, but we don't want to forget that the upper body is connected to the lower body via our torso. So what goes on in the torso really matters, right? Especially the back of our torso, our spine, our low back. Good, breathing in. Good, clearing out the space. That's how I always view these little sun breaths. It's just a way to refresh, reboot, restore energy, mood, how we're looking at things, how we're relating to people, how we're answering questions, whatever's going on, whatever decisions we have to make, we're making it from a nice, clear, quiet, centered space. And let's make this our last one. Breathing in and exhale all the way down, around, and back to the heart. Closing our eyes, taking time to come back to the midline always. What's happening and how did that help us? What happened there? So full breath into all the benefits. And exhale out anything we don't need, anything we don't want. Exhale it out. And breathing in, reaching the arms down, around, and up. Side bend to the right. And breathing into center. And we side bend to the left. Good. Breathing into center. And let's just flow a little bit. So we're keeping our belly nice and firm here. So this integrates the top and the bottom, the front and the back, and the 2 sides. So it's our core, runs from armpits to knees. So it encompasses a large space. So I always love to stretch open first and then create some strengthening on top of that. So breathing in. And you can follow my rhythm or your own rhythm. So we start to get deeper and deeper now. through the side body. We start to feel sensations through the low back, and keeping our belly firm keeps everything nice and safe. And while we're stretching, we're strengthening. So we get both. Breathing in, we move from a nice, safe, healthy place. And let's make this last flow our last. Take it to the right. And inhale up to center. And let's take it to the left. And inhale, center. And exhale, we take our pause. This is where we digest. This is where we absorb. Close your eyes if that feels safe and good for you. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good, and moving through some nice gentle cats and dogs from here, or cat and cow. So I'm gonna scooch a little bit forward in my seat so that I give my spine a little bit more room to move and flow. So taking your cats and dogs to the depth of your breath, whatever that is. So we're always letting the breath lead us. So we ground down through our feet, hands can be on our thighs, and we breathe in. And we start to elongate through the front of the spine. We broaden across chest and heart, and we consciously draw the shoulder blades onto the spine or towards the spine. So those are our posture muscles. We strengthen the upper and middle back. And now as we exhale, our pelvis tips us back. We hug deeply in through the navel. Remember, effort and then surrender within that. And we elongate now through the length of the back of the spine. So we flush the breath now into the back body, targeting our low back, middle back, top of the spine. We let the chin come towards the chest so that we elongate through our whole cervical spine, our whole neck region, right up to the base of our skull. And you may even feel some stretching through that. So breathing in, reversing, pressing through the feet, pressing into your hands, opening through the pelvis, opening gut, front of the spine into our respiratory immune center. And we're taking our time today so that we can luxuriate in the breath and what it's doing for us, the benefits that it's creating in our structure, in our overall health and well-being. Exhale, pull it in, toning, we lengthen, we create space. And now let's move a little bit through our breathing. If you want to continue to move slowly, do it. If you want to move with me, do it. Make your practice today your own. Breathe in, my breath pace or your own. Good, since I'm talking, I may lose the rhythm with you. Good, so finding these beautiful new spaces, these new shapes. And we're simply bringing the breath right into these new shapes. All the space that's opening, the breath moves in. It starts to purify and do its magic into these little crevices that have been all locked up and blocked up and not receiving warmth and energy and breath. And let's take a few more cycles here and notice everything that you're receiving, everything that's moving, everything that's changing. And be sure to notice the things that aren't changing. What isn't moving? What isn't changing? Good, excellent. And just one more, reach back. So we're never collapsing, we're simply opening the back body and then opening the front body. Let's pause here for a moment to reset and reestablish. Take a full breath in, deep breath out. Good, so either staying in the seat you're in or you can take a wider seat. Remember, you can also be practicing on a mat and sitting. So we'll start to flush out even further, getting deeper and deeper into the low back. We get into our kidney region, our gut space. So bringing all this beautiful energy into the belly now through these circles. So we moved forward and back. We moved side to side through our leans. And now we put it all together in these big, beautiful, wide circles. So we lead with our heart. Now our heart is nice and open. We're nice and free in our thoughts, clear in our mind. And we're so focused. So we're getting a brain strengthener. Good. Staying connected. Good. Even though we want to unplug some of the high energy, we want to stay aware and connected within that. So that's really important, and that really helps us dial down and quiet down through our central nervous system. Good. Being aware and present doesn't mean we have to be in a crazy frenzy. Let's pause at center for a moment. Full breath in. Sit up nice and tall and exhale. Take it to the opposite side. Good. Balancing out some of the energy that goes on externally. All the news, all the stuff. Good. Navigating through life day to day brings up a lot of energy, a lot of stuff. So we don't want to be storing that in our hot spots like our low back and our hips. So we're staying very focused in this region so that we can really melt down some of the layers, some of the posturing, some of the habits that we do in response to what's coming in externally. Let's start to slow down our circles even more. Eyes can be open or closed. And let's take 2 more circles in this direction. Notice the reaching in all the directions. And when we reach back, keeping that nice energy towards the navel center as we move, really protecting our low back. And coming to center, pausing there, closing the eyes, full breath in. Deep breath out. And moving on now through the body, we're going to reach left knee up, whatever you have. Don't let that compromise your posture. And I always talk about that. So it's better to reach lower and sit taller. So we're going to just open and close. Nice and slowly. You can use both hands, one hand, no hands. Whatever we're doing, we're staying nice and connected here internally through our center, drawing navel in and up just very gently. So it's very nice and active. We're not sluggish in the core. Good. Heart is lifting, spine is tall. We're pressing through that left foot, so we're engaged everywhere right now. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. And let's just take 2 more. So notice what's happening as we open and close. Inner, outer. Good. What's happening through these muscles? Let's set up at center. Take a moment there. Notice your 2 sides. I know I'm feeling a lot of shift in energy right into my hip socket, filtering into my low back. Full breath in. Fill up into all that new territory, and now your exhale is a deep release to let go. Whatever's been held up there, bound up there, exhale it out. So second side, left knee lifts. Good. Sit up nice and tall and establish what's happening here on this side. Are you able to lift the same amount and maintain and preserve our strength? Our posture here. Good. Adjust if you need to. And then here we go. We're going to open and close and notice if it feels different. What feels the same? What feels different? What do I need to do here if it feels different? Do I need to linger and hold a little bit in a space that feels restricted? Do I need to really focus my energy and my breath there, bringing the warmth of the breath? Let it flush it out and purify the space, right? Try that. Good. Or continue to move maybe a little bit slower. Good. Notice what's happening as we're conscious and aware. How does everything feel? Good. 2 more each way. Notice if you're getting more each cycle. And setting up at center, reconnect. Notice what's happening. Full breath in, even through the back body. Full breath out, right? We get into our hips to release through our low back. Full breath in. Full breath out. And right knee lifts again. So if it's hard to lift, and I should have said this before, I apologize. You can always just post your toes, or if you have a prop, a yoga block, or a pillow, you can just set your foot on that. You never have to lift if that's not available or accessible for you. So we're going to take some circles. And if you're on your mat and you want to lay down on your back, that's a really nice option if you're not sitting up with me in the chair, or you can lay on your bed and do this. That's really nice, right? So it doesn't matter. We choose our space, and that's one of the other benefits about this remote teaching and learning, that we set up a space that dictates how we're feeling in the moment we're choosing to do our yoga practice. And let's take our circles now in the opposite direction. Good. Breathing in and out. Good. Excellent. Good. So noticing the excursion of your circle. So we're lubricating our socket. We're getting deeper and deeper. We're sending our breathing right into that space. Good. And coming to center. Pausing there. Full breath in. Good. Notice how each thing is layering onto the next. Full breath out. And now left knee lifts. Good. Establish your lift again, and then right away move into your circles. And noticing both sides, same differences. What's happening for you today? Good. Keep that integrity in the belly, so that we're always staying strong. Heart is lifting, crown is lifting, right? Head, neck, neutral, and circling opposite. Lots to remember. But if we just go down the line with our checklist, we can make sure that we can check off all the boxes, right? We're nice and connected. We're not spaced out. We're present and focused. That's another wonderful benefit, is we really focus the mind in the here and the now without being so distracted on external stuff. Let's come to pause, full breath in, take it all in. Deep exhale out. Good. Coming back to the first side, we're going to breathe the right knee up. So option 1, we cross the ankles. If you have a hip or knee issue or replacement, you'll take a modification. And if you're moving on with me, we're taking our figure 4. So setting up ankle over the thigh, make sure that it feels good for you. Notice this hip angle. That's really, really important. And sitting up nice and tall, full breath in. We're going to reach the heart towards that inner shin. And without collapsing or rounding, we're going to maintain that. We're just going to lift right back up. So inhale here, lift tall. Exhale, leading with our hearts. Or maybe just staying vertical is enough for you today, right? Where are you today? Good. Following your own inner guidance and inner wisdom. And the more we practice and the more conscious we are, the more we can connect to that energy and that space. Good. Exhaling. And let's take one more up and down. So we're just introducing ourselves into the hip, into the groin. Good. Noticing how it feels, setting up, holding here. If you want, you can also take some time to get into this ankle and take a few ankle stretches. Good. So you can do that with or without your hand helping. Good. So it's opposite hand to ankle or toes, right? So we nurture the feet a little bit. Very, very important to get into our whole lower body. Good. And taking 2 or 3 more breaths here. Continuing to move or holding statically. You can even give your soul a nice little massage, right? We're in shoes and maybe socks as the weather gets colder, right? We want to really get into our feet and nurture them. So with our long spine now, we're going to lead with the back of the heart. Carefully draw the knee towards you and releasing nice and safely. Shake out the legs. Notice what's happening here. Full breath in and deep breath out. Good. So we're just taking our time between our sides so we don't torque anything or force anything. And bringing the left knee up. So option 1, as we open that hip and knee out, option 1, we cross at the elbows, at the ankles. And option 2, we cross at the thigh, figure 4. And noticing your figure 4 on this side. How does it feel? Sitting up tall, you can stay right here. Good. One hand on the inner thigh, one hand on the ankle foot. So there's some connection. So breathing in here and exhale, leading with our hearts. We bow forward if you're moving on. Exhale from the back of your heart. So the spine stays straight. We're not collapsing forward. We're staying lifted. So it's a hinge at the hip crease. It's like a door hinge, right? So this is what we're doing. Good. So noticing that, noticing your 2 sides. How is it feeling for you? Good. Awesome. Breathing in, breathing out if you're following mine. Good. Let's take one more in and out. And holding here. If you're holding, notice how it feels. If you liked the circles, take them. If that feels like too much, just stay quiet. Wherever we are, we're focusing on where the breath needs to go from here. Circling the ankle opposite, right? Where do I need more energy? Or where am I feeling pain and discomfort that I need some dialing down and quieting? Right? We use that magic breath, that quieting ocean breathing. We let it penetrate into what we don't want, into stretching us, strengthening us, whatever we're looking for. And one more deeper breath here. And nice and slowly, let's draw knee up and releasing it down. Taking pause here, full breath in, deep breath out. Good. And taking the left knee up and then extending it out. So I'm still sitting a little bit forward. Make sure that your chair is nice and balanced, that you're not feeling tippy or wobbly. We're grounding deeply through our left foot. And maybe we point and flex through the toes and ankles here, right? And reminder, since I'm outside, that we want to use our internal filters so we stay really conscious. Yup, we know something's out there, but we don't need to let it affect us. We don't need to let it take it in. We stay where we are, nice and connected. Good, so let's set up now for our nice stretch. Toes up, or you can make it relaxed, right? Nice and long and lifted through our spine, belly strong. And now exhale. If you're taking it further, you're going to lead with your heart, so we're really elongating. And I'm going to give you a little side of that, right? So here we are. I'm not rounding and collapsing in my spine. This is my door hinge, right? I'm folding from my hip crease, and I can use my hand as a little kickstand. So I'm not putting any pressure on my knee at all. It's not designed to be pushed backwards, right? My thigh is nice and engaged. I'm taking it active today. Good, so feeling that stretch. So you're gonna feel that line all the way from your low back, all the way to your heel. So hand on the thigh, hand on the shin, or just hands on hips and leaning forward, whatever works for you. Let's take 3 or 4 more breaths here. Right, nice focused breath right into the center, the meat of your tension. Meet the barrier with the breath. Let it melt it down, heat it up, and exhale. We wash away the tension. We wash away the tightness, the holding. Inhale nice and slowly from the back of your heart. Good, and take a moment to digest that. Notice your 2 sides. Full breath in. Deep breath out. And second side. So extending through the left, right? We sit up nice and tall, and we point and flex deeply through the toes and ankles. Full breath in. Good, full breath out. Full breath in. Full breath out. Good. Notice the excursion in this ankle. And then setting up either active or quieter, and breathing in and exhaling. Folding forward. Notice how that feels. Notice what's happening. If you want to go up and down, feel free if you like that. If you want to just settle into the stretch, take that, right? You're making your practice your own. What do I need today in this present moment? Good. Let's settle into the stretch now. Notice where you're feeling the stretch. Back, right? The juice, the meat of that hamstring, low back region, right? Feeling the breath just penetrating. Not going too deep, not overdoing it. We don't want to go into the attachments behind the knee or right behind where the thigh and the pelvis meet. That's can be very tender. So be mindful of your stretch. And 3 deeper breaths here. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. And nice and slowly now, leading with the back of our heart, we lift up, draw the knee up, come back to our center, close our eyes, full breath in. Deep breath out. And we're going to sit back in our chair or our mat, or feel free to get into any comfortable space. We're going to take a 60-second Shavasana together, closing our eyes, noticing a new space, rounding down through feet or whatever's touching something, low back, at ease, heart open, spine tall, mind clear. Drink in your breath, taking this time to seal in all the beautiful changes we've created together, and letting go of any stress, any excess chaos, any fluctuations, any excess restlessness or busyness, depression, anxiety. See if we can just come to a place of peace and stillness. It's our union. Feel it. Breathe it in and settle into that new space.